Hey folks, I thought it was a good time to give everyone an update on what's going on with the Bourbon and Banter Headquarters saga. A few months ago, I reported that we ran into some snags renewing our lease, but today I'm happy to report that that's all been resolved. So we are locked in for 2 years, the 2-year renewal, which means we should hopefully be in this space for a long, long time. As such, we are getting ready to kick off our renovation project for the space. Now, not a lot of people have seen the inside of the space, a photo here, a photo there, and that's not been our purpose. We've just been busy with a lot of things. So today, I thought it would be kind of fun, along with just that quick update to let you know that we're sticking here for a while, to give you a look inside, because it's going to be the before is what you're going to see. And it's a little bit cluttered in there. We've thrown a lot of furniture in. We've got some scaffolding in there now. I mean, we are merely just a couple days away from starting the renovation project. And I'll take you in, I'll talk a little bit about what we're doing, I'll show you some floor plans, but just keep in mind that we're not putting hundreds of thousands of dollars in here. We're doing this on a shoestring budget, and we're gonna make it as comfortable as we can, because this is really World Headquarters 1.0. Who knows, we may do another round of renovation here if things go well with what we have planned, or we could find a bigger and better space down the road. Very much the start of something, and I'm thrilled to be able to share with all you guys today, and hopefully keep filming this and bring you guys along for the ride. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and step inside here. This is our humble little entrance here, but give me a second, we'll go on in and I'll give you the grand tour. Here we go, folks. You're seeing the first peek of the before of what is the front lounge area, as we're calling it. Got some scaffolding, some random paint samples on the wall, lots of furniture we've acquired, and our proprietary cardboard walls. These are 4 by 8 foot cardboard walls that we put up over the last several months to help us determine what exactly the ideal layout would be in this space, to kind of give us some structure to what we are doing. And as you can see, it is a hot mess right now, but you get a sense of the size and scale of the space. We've got some beautiful windows up front, give us a tremendous amount of natural light. What we're going to do is we're going to replace those curtains and actually put up some polygal panels. This is a plastic material often used in greenhouses, but we're using an opal finish on it, so it's not clear, it's translucent. We're going to put those custom fit into those window panels there, and then we may actually add some LED lighting to them as well, just kind of give it a nice, sleek, modern. We decided with the space we're going to kind of reach into, or lean into, if you will, the industrial vibe coming from this. This building was built in the late 1940s, and it hasn't been updated much since then whatsoever. Now, we do have our own guard dog. We have Mr. Bob Bennett here in the patented sumo squat position, guarding anyone who's coming in. And as you can see, we've got some more paint samples on the wall over here. All right, so swinging back around, we have our gates on the windows here. This is on a very busy street, and over the years, the previous occupancy put these in there just in case someone wanted to drive their car through the doors. Now, at that time, it was a rug store. Didn't know rugs were such a hot market, but apparently it was a concern. We have them, we still use them, but we're going to make them kind of look a little bit cooler and lean into the space once again. I don't know, maybe a little bit of Buffalo Trace, experimental warehouse X vibe, if you will. Once again, lots of furniture here. Scaffolding, we do have these beautiful 11-foot high ceilings. We're going to do some touch-up painting on those as well, but we're going to leave those as is on the ceiling with the white color. But then on the wall, we're going to go with a much darker shade. Probably the one right there in the middle next to the rusty color is going to be something that we lean into. Really give the space a nice, moody vibe. All right, so here's a different view of the front area, which we're calling the lounge. So what is this going to be used for? Well, this space is predominantly going to be used for client tastings, where we can have a company come in instead of us going to their venue. We're going to use it for classes like the Associate Bourbon Steward class that we held a couple weeks ago. And then we're also going to use it for bourbon and banter events, people who are local, and also some other bourbon groups here in town that have expressed an interest in having a space to hang out. So there will be a lot of cool things that we have planned for this space, and will develop over time once we get this finally finished up. But there'll be several seating areas, there'll be tables. The wall over there with the scaffolding in front of it, that's going to be lined with 2x6 studding in a very interesting layout pattern, and we're just going to put the bottles right onto those studs. No fancy shelving, kind of keep it rustic. Once again, leaning into this concept of this industrial aesthetic with a little bit of a eclectic style as well. And pivoting around here, we're going to start walking down what will eventually be a hallway. And I've got some cardboard in the way here, so I apologize for that. But that hallway will shoot all the way down there. There'll be a door put into there, and that'll be where people, when they come into the lounge, will be able to walk down through there and get to the bathroom. A little bit off to the side in the hall here, this is what will be my office, my command center, if you will. It's hard to tell what it's going to look like because there's no walls, but this will be boxed in. Behind those shelves there will be a pantry that will be closed off as well. And in there, we will have cabinetry, glassware, whiskey, whatever we need to support the space as we move forward. Now, once again, I'm going to show you guys a little bit more detail of the layout in a moment, but this gives you some visual reference. Then walking back here, this is our production area. This is where we ship out all of our e-commerce projects, glassware, flasks, custom orders for clients. We also hold the whiskey that we use for our in-person tastings, both locally, and then when we travel, we'll have that whiskey as well. So we have all of that back in this rather large area here. So let's go ahead and walk down, and let me take you to the back section. So here we are walking through the back door, and this is a section that we previously shared with the other tenant in the building, and they had this filled with storage. So we are getting this whole space. It's a little rough, as you can see right now, but we actually have the floor guys coming in here shortly. They're going to refinish this floor. So you can see this is a commercial VCT tile. It looks rough now, but otherwise it's in great condition physically. And since we're working on a budget, we're just going to have that finished, cleaned up. And then back here, we're going to move a lot of our shelves that you just saw back into this area for storage, freeing up some space up front for some of the stuff we want to do. And we'll kind of evolve this one as we go. We have our bathroom here in the corner. We're going to clean that up a little bit. And we are putting a new kitchenette in here. So this will be one of the last views that you're going to see like this. So this area will be evolved, but it's really not going to be lipsticked out to make it really, really customer friendly, but it'll be functional and it'll work great for storage. And then this is just a view back toward the front of the space. So let's go ahead and jump in and show you the floor plans in a little bit more detail. Here's the layout that we are proposing for the build out. Now that you've sort of seen the walkthrough of it, let me orient you to this drawing. Right up here in the front, this is that lounge area where we come through the double glass doors. And what will happen when this is built out, you'll be greeted by a little half-height wall that will consist of 5 or so used bourbon barrels. That'll be a divider into the room, followed by the brown leather sectional and additional seating. You can see it laid out here, along with tables in front of these shelves on the wall, which will actually be 2x6s exposed and utilizing those for shelves. Once again, as I said earlier, leaning into that industrial sort of eclectic vibe that we're looking for. You'll have another seating section here. There'll be a TV positioned above this couch. There will be also a TV over in the shelves. That means that no matter where you sit in the space for one of our classes or one of our tastings, you'll be able to see one of 2 large screen TVs for additional information as we go through those activities. As you come in through the door here to your right, you're going to have what we call a landing zone. This will be a series of cabinets and countertops. So whether we're doing bottle shares, we can put bottles there. If clients want to cater and bring food in, we can set it up there buffet style and have some utilitarian space up front that works for our guests. All in all, we'll ultimately have seating for at least 25 people in this area, which is perfect because when you do a tasting, you can get just about 25 1-ounce pours from a bottle. Then we have the middle building section here. We call this the core. This is going to house my office, which is roughly 13 by 13 feet. And then here will be the pantry. This will have a series of countertops and cabinetry to store everything from Glencairns to supplies to other type of glassware. And this side here on the external wall is TBD. It may hold more of our whiskey collection because I've got roughly 900 bottles and we maybe will get 400 on the shelves here. We'll need some overflow space, and so we'll have options there. There'll be a passage doorway here. We'll probably leave that open maybe with a curtain, but it'll be a space that when guests come in, they'll be able to access and get in there and use it as sort of a bar counter as well. Continuing down the hall here, we'll have space to put some additional furniture as needed. But then there'll be a hallway here divided from the production area, and that is where guests will go down through here, a door that will be added, and they'll be able to go into that backroom storage area that I've shown you and use the bathroom and the new kitchenette. All right. The production zone will stay pretty similar to what it is now. And then we've got a really cool idea here for the walls. blending the shells and some structural materials as well to have a little bit fun with it. And once again, leaning into that industrial eclectic vibe that we've been discussing about. The floors will remain the VCT tiles as we've discussed. We're just going to have them professionally cleaned and restored. And then all the paint choices are going to lean into the colors that work well with that bluish gray color on the floor. So ultimately, it'll be a pretty cool vibe. I should call it that these walls here for the core are going to be 8 foot. So we're going to retain around 3 feet of open clearance above everything, allowing the existing lighting to serve well for all the spaces, and also allow the 2 AC units, HVAC units, to cool and heat the space evenly without the complication of full height walls as well. And then, of course, it allows us to make structural changes a little bit easier as well as needed as our needs change and grow over the next 2+ years. So that's it. That's the quick layout here. And real quick, just to give you an idea, I find these 3D programs kind of fun, is that you can then switch gears and then you can go into like a first person shooter mode here, right? And you go right in here and there's that front door, those barrels. And once again, this isn't exactly how the shelves are going to look, but you get an idea how the space will come together. And it looks a little small in these renderings, I think, but ultimately we can have ample space. I mean, all in, we're at a roughly 3,300 square feet. So there's lots of room to grow and expand as we get on down that. And I should say, this is one of the cool things we're thinking about for this hallway here, is picking up a whole bunch of different used china cabinets and display cabinets from Facebook Marketplace, resale shops, and using those for overflow storage for whiskey bottles and whatnot, allowing us to add to the collection fairly inexpensively over time. All right, well, there you have it, folks. You've gotten the grand tour such as it is. You've seen the floor plans. You have a good idea of what we're going to work on here and try to get finished over the next couple of months during the summer months when business slows down just a little bit. If you are part of the Bourbon and Banter community, please know that you always have an invite to come check us out. If you're someone in St. Louis and you want to host a tasting and looking for a kind of cool, fun space, once you see how this is finished, please reach out to me. We'd be glad to host you. And if you just want to stop by and say hi, reach out as well. Happy to do that. But I hope you follow along. We're going to try to post some other videos as we build out the space. Happy to answer your questions. And obviously, if you want to offer some advice, feel free. Just know that we're working on that shoestring budget. We don't have a ton amount of money to spend, so our creativity is going to be what sets us apart, not our budget. So thanks again for being part of the Bourbon and Banter community. Look forward to sharing the space with many of you in person soon. And until the next video, cheers.